secret mastermind behind Chapter 5 storyline is actually Midas, as he's set to return to Fortnite in a big way and lead us into a huge next season. Midas' return has been teased in front of our eyes this entire time, starting off with his very own yacht, which is literally on the island, now taken over and customized by the Society, who's the leading enemy faction on the island. Midas actually has a very important connection to these guys, and it explains why the boat has been taken over by them. And having a search around on this boat, you can actually find a computer with a username hidden behind 5 characters, which is of course Midas's name himself, and a password hidden behind 8 characters, which is Marigold, the name of the boat. But it's not just Midas's boat that is back. It's one of the small islands to the north of the map. You can find tons of Chapter 2 props, including the agency from Midas's season, giving us huge hints as to the future of Chapter 5 being very connected to Chapter 2, which of course Midas was from. And something only noticed by keen-eyed people is the golden doors that actually finishes off the trailer for Chapter 2 Season 2, which introduced Midas into the Fortnite world, have been seen on the Fortnite map for the very first time at Grand Glacier in Chapter 5, where the exact same golden doors are actually in use. And in the intro cinematic for Chapter 5, you can actually spot Midas's Imagined Order folder on the floor, something that hasn't been seen since the live event back in Chapter 2. And if you're still not convinced enough of Midas returning to the game, during the Big Bang event, which led us into Chapter 5, there was a very specific golden galaxy that Jonesy flew by that is also giving us a giant nod as to Midas coming back, and even includes the shark on that golden galaxy that of course ate Midas, which thankfully wasn't actually him. It was just a snapshot duplicate version of him. But we all associate that shark with Midas himself. And one of the reasons that Midas is actually coming back to the island is that although we currently think the leader of the Society, the evil faction currently on the island, whose members consist of all the bosses that are on the map with their mythic weapons and golden amulets, it's told to us currently that Valera is the leader of the Society. But if you spend half a second properly paying attention to the Society's logo, it is of course fully gold, holding 2 hands with a single eye in the middle. This is literally Midas as their logo, meaning Midas is actually the secret leader of the Society and is the one pulling all the strings for the storyline that is currently unfolding on the Chapter 5 island. The reason for Midas's return can actually be hidden within Valera's loading screen, giving us tons of information as to why he's coming back. But before we dive deeper into that, Midas isn't the only one returning, as he needs part of his OG crew with him to complete the big mission that is currently undergoing on the island. Is if you take a closer look on the west side of the map, there are currently 3 very special shacks that can be found, and diving inside of these hint at some massive characters returning. Midas's old crew are currently set up here and undercover without anyone knowing, with a pink shack that is decorated with purple and pink colors on the inside, containing a collection of Sky's items that perfectly match up with Sky's agent room from Chapter 2 Season 2. There's a blue shack as well for Meowscles himself, with cans of fish, bottles of milk, and there's literally a poster of Meowscles on the wall of his shack. That means Midas has called upon 2 of his original gang to join him for the secret mission, but the 3rd shack is a little different. This one is yellow, with items that don't necessarily associate with anyone that we've seen so far, with a caterpillar, green frog, and a fish Mona Lisa painting. And there's actually 4 deck chairs outside of these shacks, the purple one for Sky, the blue one for Meowscles, and a yellow and green one that are potentially there for 2 new members of Midas's team that we haven't met before. In the most recent update to Chapter 5, 2 original mythic weapons back from the Chapter 2 era were also updated, including TNT Union's Boombo and Jules' mythic drum gun, meaning that we're gearing up to a lot of Chapter 2 characters returning. But why is all of this happening? It comes back to the most obvious story that's developing in front of our eyes, which we've talked about here on the channel, which is of course Peely disappearing and why he's been taken. Unfortunately, as cool as Peely is, they don't actually want Peely, and although the Society have stolen him, which let's not forget is actually being controlled by Midas, Midas and the Society and the whole gang that he's bringing together actually want to lure in Jonesy, who's currently hunting down Peely to try and save him. Now, if we go back to Valera's loading screen, as I said, there's lots of information in here that's very important. We can not only see Jonesy literally on one of her monitors, but the 0 point behind him as well. There's also a very similar mock-up image of the device, something that Midas built back in Chapter 2 to try and push away the storm forever Valera to stop the loop, which is the storm coming in infinitely over and over and over on the Fortnite island. A mission that Midas almost successfully completed, but unfortunately didn't quite work out and ended up with the Chapter 2 map being flooded. But there's a reason that Valera has these on her monitors, and it's the fact that Jonesy has two things that no one else in the Fortnite world really has. Number one, incredible knowledge and information of the 0 point itself, and believe it or not, he's also immortal. This is something that's actually explained a little bit more within the Batman Fortnite comics. But basically, with all of Jonesy's information and the fact that he can now live forever, capturing him will be the greatest asset anyone in the Fortnite world can have, as they can constantly use him as a source of information to get whatever they want, which in this case is the 0 point. The reason Valera and Midas are hunting down the 0 point is because if Midas wants to try and create another version of the device again, he'll need the power of the 0 point to be able to do this, making Jonesy invaluable in this hunt for a very, very big mission. This story will continue to develop throughout this season, where there will actually be quests added in, where we've got to go ahead and put up missing Peely posters, and this is actually leading up towards the end of this season with the perfect reveal for Midas himself, as we now start to understand how and when Midas will be coming to the game. So thanks to Epic Games messing up a little bit, they accidentally named a future LTM that's coming to the game, known as the Floor is Lava, something that hasn't returned in years and years, to Midas Presents Floor is Lava. That's right, Midas is definitely coming back, which we know, and he's going to be coming back with lava involved. Leaks all the way back in Chapter 4 actually connected volcanic rock, lava, and more fiery effects in the in-game files to the 0 point specifically, but of course that never ended up happening. There was a big theory that the volcano would explode in the Chapter 4 island, and it seems that actually all of these files are being saved for now in Chapter 5. Currently, we don't know where the 0 point is on the island, but for a Fortnite island to exist, there is always a 0 point somewhere, most likely hiding underneath the map. So to reveal where the 0 point is, Midas and Valera could be coming up with a huge plan to actually fill the island with lava and force the 0 point out of hiding and reveal its location so they can capture its power to build the second version of the device. But that's a lot to go on. Lava on the map, Midas returning, old crew members returning. And of course, this all requires that they actually capture Jones through them baiting them in with the missing Peely posters, which means most of this won't start to actually happen until the end of this season and the beginning of the next season, which is set to be absolutely huge with some of the information that we already know about it. Chapter 5, Season 2 is already being teased on the island. You just need to know where to look. Ruined Reels is one of the perfect examples of a big teaser for the next season. Not only the ruins itself, but the posters that are around here, with one of them literally saying coming soon, with the title The Odyssey 6, featuring Jonesy on the poster, standing at the bottom of Olympus. There are many hints on the island currently of a Greek theme for Chapter 5 Season 2, with Greek mythology-based characters and Greek POIs coming to the island. And this coming soon poster not only is our biggest hint of this actually happening, but it is literally happening in a Greek Colosseum on the island right now. This all starts to interconnect as you click quite obviously, as Midas is actually taken from Greek mythology. King Midas could turn anything he touched into gold, which is of course what Midas can do, making his return next season tie perfectly into the theme, tie perfectly into the story that is currently developing right now on the island, revealing that he is the secret mastermind behind everything that is going on. And if his mission brings a ton of lava and the revealing of the 0 point to the island, things are about to kick into another gear, and I'm so excited for it. You've got to make sure you're subscribed, as I'm going to be gathering even more information on the next season, so you don't want to miss any of my future videos. And on screen here, you can better understand the missing Peely poster storyline that's currently going on, so definitely click it for even more Chapter 5 storyline. And I hope you've enjoyed all the information in this video.